But I didn't know that. I didn't know that I had a chance, maybe. I thought I was still 40 feet.
Right.
And I just kept hanging on to life. And he just took, whales.
So he nips you, brings you down.
Nipped me first,
Yeah.
and then came around to my ankle and grabbed my ankle and took me down.
Takes you down, 40 feet, maybe for 30 or 40 seconds, and then somehow brings you back? Mm-hmm. Is your ankle still in his mouth?
Mm-hmm. I remember looking at him going, well, at first, because I never had any fear about the whale. I knew he didn't want to hurt me. And I remember when I was going down 40 feet, I remember looking at him going, what are you doing now? Are we going to go play or what? And then I looked up.
No, you just didn't say, Lisa, you are about to die.
I didn't know it then.
And you're going to say, we're going to play, we're going to play. He's got me by the ankle, and we're off to play time. Is that what you thought?
Until I couldn't breathe, until I looked up. And then I got really scared. But on the way, I couldn't figure out what he was doing, and then all of a sudden I realized I couldn't breathe, and I looked up and I went, oh my God.
And finally, when he brings you back to the surface, you're conscious?
Mm-hmm.
You can breathe? Mm-hmm. Why would you possibly go in underneath water without a tank?
You don't use tanks with whales or dolphins. The bubbles irritate them.
Oh. But yeah, but you were about to lose your life.
Well, I didn't think it was going to take me under.
A tank would have saved you.
Yeah, it's true.
What do you think about the whale? Were you ever angry at the whale?
No. When I thought I was going to die, I was. But I didn't think he wanted to hurt me. I mean, some divers might have grabbed their dive knife and tried to stab him. I never felt like he was trying to hurt me. I just felt like I couldn't breathe and I was going to drown.
Do you think the whale liked you?
Probably. Wanted to play. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have hurt me. He would have killed me.
Have you ever been back in the water looking for a whale?
About 5 days later.
You're crazy. You like doing this?
Well, I didn't like almost dying, no. But I liked being in the whale's world. I felt honored that I got to be in his world.
Are you a different person now?
Mm-hmm.
How?
My son and my family, I remember to tell people that I love them, my family, and I appreciate life.
Okay, let's find out how much you appreciate life. This is your best friend, isn't it?
Right.
Huh? Stand right up here. Has she changed at all?
Yes, she has.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think when you watch that tape?
Being a friend, emotional.
It's
very emotional, but knowing Lisa, now, it's appreciating who she is.
We're going to be back in a moment and talk about another, I think we can call this life and death experience caught on tape right after this. Next, a bungee jumper takes a near deadly plunge.
A promotional fee has been provided by...
Subi is delicious, gonna get me some. Honey pure, honey sweet, Subi Premium.
The Little Professor Book Company Superstore in Covington Plaza is so big, you may need a map to get around. You'll find over 60 categories of books, from facts to fiction, art books to cookbooks, over 60,000 books on our shelves, plus 1 million more available through our unique computer ordering system. Designed to be browser-friendly, we're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Stop in. Enjoy our free gourmet coffee. Remember, you're always welcome at the Little Professor Book Company Superstore, the 1-million-story building in Covington Plaza.
This holiday season, decorate your home or office to reflect the spirit and color of the season with outstanding and affordable holiday decorations from Dars. Dars, Fort Wayne's party supply headquarters, has stocked their 13,000 square foot showroom with a spectacular array of holiday supplies for absolutely every decorating need at prices that will keep you coming back year after year. But hurry in now while selection's best. Dars on North Clinton across from Target behind Glenbrook, your holiday headquarters.
We've got 4 locations here in town just to serve you. It's all right. Whenever you need a doc, we've got one here just to help you day or night. A touch of the flu, a broken thumb. Look out, baby, 'cause here it comes. We're ready when you are. Get ready, Matt, 'cause here it comes. I'll see
New furniture is arriving daily and our warehouse is overflowing. To help us keep up, don't miss ASEAN Furniture's Super Warehouse Sale.
Going on now, up to 60% off the best names in furniture, bedding, and accessories.
ASEAN Furniture's beautiful selection, fantastic warehouse savings, and no interest and no payments until May 1994.
Free delivery and setup within 100 miles.
Going on now, ASEAN Furniture's Super Warehouse Sale.
ASEAN Furniture.
There was only one thing standing in my way. It took me all these years to figure that out. I thought I found the answer,
67 pounds.
but I still had to learn. The weight I carried wasn't just extra pounds. It had to do with one thing that'll never stand in my way again.
How Oprah did it, how anyone can do it. Next Oprah.
Monday at 4 on 21 Alive.
Okay, now imagine this. You're happily married, and your husband gives you a great anniversary gift, right? Well, our next story is about an anniversary gift that turned into a brush with death. When David and Kathy McCallum decided to spend a normal day at the county fair, they never thought they'd end up on TV. One of the attractions, bungee jumping. Now, quite frankly, I'm scared to death of bungee jumping. But David, adventurous fellow that he is, decided to give it a try. So what was it like, David?
Well, it was a normal Sunday. We got up and decided to go to the carnival for the day. Took the kids and called half the family up, wanted them to come on out and enjoy themselves. And like you said, bungee jumping was the main attraction there.
And you watched for a while?
Yeah, I watched quite a few jumps, and I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. And my wife gave it to me for an anniversary gift. And
you said it was okay?
He wanted it so bad, so I couldn't tell him no.
I mean, have you done other things like this? Or
no, never.
No.
You're not this kind of crazy, adventurous, dangerous fella?
Average guy.
Okay. Now, as I understand, he told everybody but you, Kathy, didn't he?
Yeah,
All the rest of the
everybody
fam?
was going there to watch him jump, but I didn't know he wanted to jump until we were already there.
Ah, so we have...
I thought we were going to watch it.
Yeah, we have this treacherous jump on video. Who by the way, who took the video?
We paid for them to take the video.
So they were going to take the video of his initiation into bungee jumping. Here's what happened. Ah, there you are. How high up?
We're about 180 foot up right there.
Oh my gosh.
And right there he's telling me what I'm supposed to do, and he's saying 3, 2, 1 bungee, and that's when I jump.
Right.
And right now I believe I'm walking over to the edge of the door.
Are you scared now looking down 180 feet?
Yeah. I think I would have been satisfied coming right back down.
Yeah.
And
here it is in slow motion.
Right about there, I kind of blanked out for a second, and I had my fist real tight, and I give out a yell, and I really didn't know.
At that point, I screamed.
That's when I knew I was on the ground, is when I was on the ground.
So it was about, what would you say, 40, 50 feet up that it broke?
Yeah, probably about that. It didn't break, it come apart.
And what happened?
Well, what it was, okay, there's the bungee cord, and it's on a nylon spool.
I don't care about the bungee cord. We saw it break, David. What happened to you?
Well, it pretty much tore my left foot off.
Where did you land?
I landed on the ground, on my head.
Just on the side of the airbag.
There's an air balloon right there that's supposed to cushion you?
8-foot airbag, and I hit the very corner of it, about 8 inches of it.
And if you hadn't hit the corner of it,
he probably went to,
wouldn't be here.
No.
And if you were here, you probably could have been paralyzed or whatever. So you hit the corner of the airbag, and what happened to you?
The airbag popped as soon as I hit it, and it come over top of me. So I remember moving my hands, trying to get the airbag off, and then I started to get up. And there was quite a few people looking, and for some reason, the only person I seen when I turned around was my uncle, and I give him thumbs up to tell him I was okay, and then I fell right back down.
Right.
And that's when everybody kind of...
What did you think?
Well, we were all excited, and I was so nervous. I screamed as I seen it come apart. I ran in there,
we didn't know where he was because the bag was on top of him. So I'm like, you know, worrying, where is he? And at that point, then he came up, and all of a sudden he yelled, I don't want Kathy here, get her back. So I'm like, oh, something's really wrong, you know, for him not to want to see it. And so I stepped back, everybody got in there, and was the ambulance, I got the policemen, and all the people were there, and so it was a big to-do right all of a sudden.
Yeah. And what did you know had happened?
I really didn't know. Everything was kind of vibrating real hard at that time.
But you got up and went back down right away. You knew something was hurt.
I knew I couldn't walk, and I just kind of glanced up, and I seen my foot sideways.
Oh.
And
you had fractured your ankle?
Yeah, compound fracture and dislocated. I broke the small bone, and this bone come out this side. And
now, how are you now?
It's hurting. It swells up and bruises every day, but
they saved it.
Yeah,
they saved it. Why? Because what happened, as I understand, was there a possibility that they would...
He asked for 3 hours all the time in the hospital, and the doctors, they said, well, we're going to go in there and do what we can to save the foot. So I'm like, oh my gosh, calling all my relatives, you know, I don't know if he could take it.
His first comment was when he walked in is we might have to take it off.
Take off the foot?
Yeah.
And even after they put it on...
You are one lucky boy. And will you ever bungee jump again?
No.
No, I won't let him.
I think you should keep your feet on the ground for the rest of your life, young man. I thank you very much for coming and telling us about it.
Thank you.
It is another incredible moment caught on video, and I thank you so much. Good luck to you, Kathy.
Thank you.
And a safe and healthy trip for the rest of your life. And keep him on the ground, will you? We'll be right back after this. Next, a hang glider spirals out of control, and later, a panda bear makes an innocent tourist his main attraction. Later.
Because when they run late, you run late.
Minute recipes.
Because she won't want to leave till she gets it right.
Recipes are recipes you make in 30 minutes or less.
Because there's only 10 more minutes of daylight.
For delicious meals like skillet chicken and rice Devon.
Just look on the back of the box. Because you can only get recipes from Minute Rice.
Minute recipes. Great meals for the time you have.
Try Minute Instant Whole Grain Brown Rice for a great tasting alternative.
The average elephant weighs 12,000 pounds. The average person puts 250 times that much weight on their feet every day. The average shoe just wasn't designed to take this kind of pressure. Which is why Dr. Scholl's didn't create the average insoles. Using space-age materials, Dr. Scholl's has created its new line of insoles and inserts to give your shoes revolutionary support, cushioning, and shock absorption. Make life in your shoes more comfortable with Dr. Scholl's.
What's the taste of good times together? It's easy to recall.
Butterball turkeys are deep basted to taste tender, juicy, and delicious every time.
Eyes open wide, anticipation, served with pride by each generation.
And try new Butterball baked or smoked turkey.
The best of all is Butterball.
They survived the Depression, and ones we believe the best years of their lives should be more than just memories.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Come discover the magic of Christmas at Nisco Christmas Paradise. Marvel at over 30 beautifully decorated trees and over 30,000 lights on display. See our larger-than-life animated collection. Stroll through our magical forest of trees to the shimmering water fountain. At Nisco, Fort Wayne's Christmas tradition for over 20 years. Shop either location, south at 5008 Decatur Road or north in Coldwater Crossing.
Porn movies. Some people pay good money to rent them. But on the next Maury Povich show, it's time to find out how to make your own X-rated home videos. Porn star Marilyn Chambers gives you lessons in filmmaking like you've never seen before. Plus, meet couples who are making money by bearing it all.
It's such a turn-on to feel that other people are watching us.
Learn how to make your own XXX home movies on the next Maury.
You know, when you watch people parachute, there's that one moment when all of us wonder, is the parachute really going to open? Well, our next story comes from Colorado, and it's not really about parachuting, but thank heaven our next guest was wearing one. Susan and Stephen had just gotten engaged, and they had gone to Telluride, Colorado, marvelous place, so that Stephen could hang glide. Everything was wonderful until Stephen lost control, and this terrifying ride was all caught on video.
Steve entered the World Aerobatic Hang Gliding Championships, and here I could see something was going wrong. It was not what it was supposed to be. And he's coming out to do his loop or wing over, and he began to fall in the sky.
About that time, I was reaching for my parachute, my rocket deploy parachute. I grabbed the handle, I pulled the handle, and nothing happened.
So you were trying to parachute, and it didn't work?
Right. And I reached for my second parachute, the hand deploy, so I just grab the hand deploy and I throw away, and helpfully opens.
There the chute opens. And people were screaming, pull your chute, pull your chute. And they didn't realize he had pulled the first chute, but it didn't work. And it was the second hand deployed chute that saved his life. And when the chute came up like this, I started running towards the glider. I didn't know where he was going to land. I wasn't sure if everything was okay or not. But I just started running. Somebody else was in their car, and I got there first on foot, even before the guy in the car got there.
Did you ever have a feeling that the second chute wouldn't open?
No, I was very confident about my equipment. That's the reason I was flying with a second parachute. And we'll be training to prepare for this kind of when you're doing hang gliding aerobatics. Hang gliding is safe, but hang gliding aerobatics is the extreme of the sport, like any extreme, like skiing or anything. It's aerosols.
Well, what did you think once the second chute opened? Did you think he would be saved?
I didn't know until he actually got down to the ground what the result of the whole experience was going to be. But in my heart, I was frightened. But in my head, I said, this guy, he's a sportsman. He knows the sport. He's super safe. He carries a lot of extra equipment. I knew if anybody could get out of this okay, it was him.
But in the beginning, I mean, there are seconds that are passing before he even tries to open that chute.
It's a long time that you're watching the glider tumble.
You are seeing him spin.
Right, and people are screaming on the ground. Everybody was afraid what might happen. And I was videotaping him, and I yelled to a friend of ours, Paul, like, what is going on? And then again, Paul,
look at this. Here he starts to spin.
Can you do something? I knew that something was very
I mean,
wrong.
right now, he is in deep trouble.
Right, and it was scary.
How many more seconds before, whether he could get the chute open or not, he was going to die?
Not long enough.
Not long enough.
Seconds.
Yeah. And all during this, I mean, you had to be terrified.
Yeah, I had just gotten engaged to this guy, and I'm watching this glider in the sky, and I'm thinking, not now, not now. Don't let this happen.
And now, is he still into hang gliding?
We went yesterday.
Now, come on.
Maury.
So you don't mind if he goes up and does the most difficult stunt in the world when it comes to hang gliding?
When he has his 2 parachutes, and I know that he can get himself out of a situation like this, I say you have to do what you love in life, and he loves to hang glide.
You're holding his hand right now. I hope you're going to be able to do that for the rest of your life.
I will.
We're going to.
I thank you so much for joining us and sharing this moment with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a hair-raising moment. We'll be right back after this. Next, a blind skydiver miraculously regains her sight while free-falling. And later, don't pet the animal.
From Habeger Furniture of Bern, Indiana, featuring Smith Brothers custom manufactured upholstered sofas and chairs handcrafted in Bern. Now take an additional discount off Habeger's everyday low discount pricing for pre-Christmas delivery with 40 style frames and 600 fabrics to coordinate your personal home interior. Visit Habeger Furniture during this sale and design your own customized upholstered sofa and or chair for pre-Christmas delivery.
Sooner or later, a friend will tell you about Habeger Furniture.
Slam USA Fort Wayne's only indoor and year-round sports training and recreation center. State-of-the-art batting cages for baseball and softball. The same equipment used by all Major League Baseball clubs. Plus, year-round private training programs and camps. A slam and jam and basketball court where everyone dunks with rims that adjust from 6 to 10 feet. A wide array of video games, concessions, and a complete baseball and softball pro shop, including sports apparel and cards. Plus, have a Grand Slam birthday celebration. After all, it's better in our house than in yours. Grand Slam USA, where you go to be a pro. Located off Lima Road, just south of the I-69 exit.
Me? Work with lasers? That's what I used to think. Fix computers? Sounds too complicated. That's what I used to think.
If you think a career in a high-technology field is out of reach, think again. ITT Technical Institute will give you the solid skills that could lead to success.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for this brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
Dillinger. Capone. Familiar gangsters from the 1930s, famous for their careers of crime. But did you know they have a connection to Indiana? I'm Eric Olson. In the early 30s, Dillinger knocked over banks and police stations in northern Indiana. Capone used Fort Wayne and the surrounding lake areas to take a break from his life of crime in the Windy City. Take a step back in time for a look at Indiana's link to the bad old days. Tonight at 6 and 11, only from the 21 Alive newsroom.
Our next story also involves a parachute, but what could have been a brush with death really turned into a miracle. Josie Spezio was going blind. Doctors told her that any day she would be waking up in total blackness. Well, the doctors were wrong. One morning she woke up, she was able to see everything again. Little did Josie know that this miracle was caught on video. So let's take a look at the video.
Kids, let me know if you can guess what I'm going to do.
My family and I decided that we should surprise my children with my first attempt at skydiving.
This is your first attempt at skydiving?
This is my first attempt. When I left the plane, within 5 seconds, I heard this very large pop in my head, followed by excruciating pain. And actually, I thought I was going to die.
I think I cured my eye. I heard it popping up there. I'll tell you, I popped something in my eye.
What do you mean? I knew the excitement would do it.
Maybe I'm cured. Maybe I could. Well, I can't see out of this eye. Maybe I took care of it.
Cured.
Now, this was a wish and just a passing thought that you had, because you still couldn't see out of one eye when you landed.
Right. I did not see until the following morning. I was joking with my family at that point.
You were just joking around.
Exactly.
And we should set this up. You were blind in one eye. You were also deteriorating in terms of sight in your other eye, and you were preparing to be totally blind.
Exactly. I had very limited vision in my right eye. I was no longer able to drive my car at night, and I couldn't read for more than maybe 5 minutes, and my eyes would all tear and get red.
So you had this pop when all of a sudden you go skydiving for no reason at all, and the next day you wake up, what's happened?
When I woke up the next morning, I got out of bed and I realized that my room was much larger and brighter. And unconsciously, I just covered up my good eye and I saw everything. I pretended it didn't happen. I'm sure when I look back, I was in shock. And I went downstairs, made my coffee, and went up and got in the shower. And then my unconscious spoke again, and I immediately covered up my eye again. And I saw everything, the soap, the shampoo.
And the eye that had been totally blind for how long?
29 years. Total darkness, total black. It was black.
You could see?
I could see. The soap, the shampoo. So I turned off the water slowly, because I was frightened, and I went back to bed. And I just laid in bed. I did.
You know something?
What?
That's exactly what I would do. And I'd pull the covers over my head.
I did that. And then, maybe an hour later, then I became obsessed. And then I was running around my house with my left eye exposed and going down the stairs and reading, going back to bed. But the miracle unfolded. And I was alone. But I've learned since then that that's what it takes in this world, is to respect silence and to look within ourselves. What happened to me can happen to anyone here. And I believe this sincerely. That was just my miracle.
Has anybody explained it?
No, because there is no explanation.
Well, what disease did you have, or what ailment did you have?
Well, for 29 years, when I was 16, I lost the sight of my left eye.
Just like that?
Right. Just no pain, no warning, it just went. And my parents took me all over Boston, conferences. Some would say it was a detached retina. Some would say I had a heart attack in my eye where it's just all blue. And that I should be just grateful that I had one eye. And that's the attitude I took. And then 3 years ago, they told me that the condition that was in my left eye had now gone to my right eye, and to prepare myself.
Do you believe any doctor's explanation as to what happened on the skydive?
My doctor likes to think that it's air pressure, that it was air pressure. But I don't believe that. Because when my brother dared me, I saw a vision of myself jumping off the plane. And I have learned in the past probably 8 years to listen, to be still and listen. The only reason why I say it's my miracle is strictly because if we all just listen to our unconscious, miracles would abound.
Yeah, but as I understand
But I took the harder. It was easy for me to say to my brother, I can't do that.
Right. As I understand it, you weren't going to do it unless you knew your father was home, who was on a trip.
Exactly.
You called home, right? Not expecting your father to be home.
Right. My other brother said, get in the Jeep. We were all just having a very nice time. He said, we'll go see if Dad's home. So I'm sitting in the Jeep saying, that's okay, because I know Dad's not home. But then I'd given my word to my brothers.
That you would skydive if he was home.
And he answered the phone. And then I called my sister, who wasn't supposed to be home. It unfolded. Once I made the decision. And I almost didn't jump.
Can you read that?
Yes. Tease out segment 6. We'll be right back.
After this.
A news update from TV 33, your 24-hour local news channel.
53 degrees, 12:59. I'm Dick Floria. In the news today, 2 juveniles escaped from the Northeast Juvenile Treatment Facility here in Fort Wayne. Striking Napoleon, Ohio teachers are...
The facts are in. The fact is, it's absolutely worth the drive to Tom Raper's 60-acre complex, Richmond, Indiana. No fluff, just fact.
It's the IHSAA Boys Sectional Tournament Friday.
This 24-hour news update is brought to you by Urban Brothers Furniture.
Your News Watch continues. Good afternoon. I'm Audrey Forth. The man accused in a deadly drunk driving accident is pleading guilty. Randy Bentrup admits he hit and killed 58-year-old Viola Howe last March on South Anthony. He'll be sentenced March 31st. Tonight's night, Hoosier Senator Richard Lugar expected to announce he's running for president. And coming up at 6, a full report from Indianapolis on daylight savings time, plus our entertainment watch. We'll take a look at the Grammy winners. More news in an hour, weather in 30 minutes.
Instrument of torture.
Expressing milk is hardly torture, Miss Howdy.
Speak for yourself. How much longer will this ordeal continue?
Well, since you won't be nursing, I'd say a few days.
A few days? Oh.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot a lid.
I hate this, Yvonne.
Well, I know you do, madame, but you also don't want to feed the baby yourself, even though it might be the most beautiful bonding experience and possibly your last chance to have it.
Well, I never had a chance to pull a plow either, but I can live without it.
Hey, darling, look who we have. Oh, it's Vivian. Yes.
We're all signed out. It's time to take him home.
I can't wait. Oh, here comes. Well, I'm anxious to get out of here, too.
Yes, we've all your things packed up and all ready to be sent over to the Alamein mansion. You can finally be back in your own home starting tonight.